Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I have filmed. It's been well over a month at this point. I did the same thing last year where I took all of October off, but I've just been dragging my feet on the Christmas decor, and I am sorry about that because a lot of you guys have been leaving me comments over on Instagram that you're ready for Christmas videos, so I thought I better not put it off any longer. So I am here today with a Christmas haul. As you can see, I have started decorating, but before I finish everything up, I wanted to share some new items with you guys. And before I hop into it, I did just want to say thank you so much for those of you who reached out and sent us your love and congratulations and blessing on our wedding last month in October. We got married October 23rd, and we're just so happy, and it's been so cool that some of you guys have been like following along on our journey, basically. Like, I don't share our personal life on here a ton, but I do a little bit, and some of you guys have like picked up on the things that I've said, and it's just so awesome that you guys have been celebrating along with us. So thank you guys so much for that. Wedding pictures will be up on Instagram when we get them. We don't have them yet. Yeah, so I know that's not why you're here. You're here for the Christmas decor. So I do have kind of a lot to share with you guys. It is gonna be kind of chatty. Obviously, we're already almost 2 minutes in and I haven't shown a single thing. So if you don't like those kinds of videos, I'm sorry. I will have a Christmas home tour and other Christmas videos coming up, so you can just check in for when those go up. As far as like a theme this year, there is no theme. I mean, like, Christmas is the theme. I had said that to a friend, like, Christmas is the theme. It's just traditional, elegant, classic Christmas, and I am kind of trying to hone in on bits of nostalgia from my past. Just because now that we're married, God willing, we hope to have a family soon. And if we're able to, I would love for my kids to grow up with Christmas the way that I did. So you'll hear me mention that certain things are nostalgic, or they remind me of a certain place, time, whatever. Oh, and because of that, I do have some thrifted items. I do actually thrift, and I don't normally share it with you guys because you can't necessarily like go click and add to cart and check out and get the exact same thing as me, but I thought I would share in this video anyway because it is kind of a big influence on my decor this year and moving forward for future years to come. So anyways, let's get started. I think I'll start off with Amazon. The first thing that I got, I'm sure you guys can hear it, is this set of bells. Let's see if I can hold all of them. It's a set of 3 bells. I'm gonna set them down and just talk about this larger one. I have been eyeing these for a couple years now, and this year I just decided to pull the trigger on them. They're beautiful and just classic. These will never go out of style. These are super popular this year. I mean, they have been popular for a while, but I don't think that it's just a trend. It's definitely like a classic Christmas thing that's just kind of circled its way back around in popularity, but it'll never be gone, if that makes sense. So I love just how antique they look. They are real bells. So I'm really excited about these. I have seen them other places besides Amazon, so I'll link as much as I can of everything down below. I'll even link similar items for you guys if anything is out of stock. But yeah, so I grabbed these, and then they actually do come with like a rope on them, not this beautiful antiqued velvet. I just replaced that rope and added this. This is from Etsy. I'll link it for you if you're interested. But yeah, so that's the first item, the set of 3 bells. The next things that I got from Amazon are a couple pillow covers. I love pillow covers because you can just very easily store them away. They're inexpensive, and I just hate that pillows take up so much space, and it sucks because I'm a big pillow addict. So throw pillow covers are like a godsend to me, but the first one that I picked up is this one here. It definitely has that like vintage postcard look, and I love the tree. Like, the tree is just so beautiful. If I could have 20 of these trees in life size around my house, it would be the absolute best. But I want to say that these are under $10. The quality of all the Amazon pillow covers that I've ever ordered is good. I mean, it's not outstanding, but I say it's good. It's worth the price. And with any pillow cover, whether you're buying it from Pottery Barn or Amazon, just be careful putting your insert in because zippers are just naturally delicate. So anyways, yeah, this is the first pillow and it is just one-sided. The other one that I got is this one with the vintage Santa, again, like kind of a postcard theme. I love him because he's carrying like a little drum and a trumpet. What else is he carrying? A Christmas tree, and there's the little bit of holly over here. I got these two. They were in and out of stock as I was trying to get some links together for you guys, so I'm gonna link them anyways, even if they're out of stock, and other similar ones, because there were so many that it was hard to narrow it down to just these two. So there's a ton of other good ones if these aren't available. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I haven't done this much talking and oh my gosh, you guys just saw my sweatpant leg. Oh my God. I wanted it to look like Christmassy and like I was put together because your girl hasn't worn makeup in like a month, like literally since my wedding. So yeah, epic fail when I just exposed myself with my husband's sweatpants. The last thing that I am gonna show you from Amazon is this little tiny German smoker. I am so curious if anybody else has had these before, if you know what they are, because I grew up with these and people would be like, what are those? Like when we would have friends over, and I have yet to see another person on YouTube talk about these. So I had to have one. I'm gonna start building a collection of these so that my kids can grow up with them too. One thing I'll say about these, they are collector's items. They're typically handmade and hand painted in Germany, so they carry a high price tag. It's the kind of thing that you just collect one of each year. And he's so tiny and cute. If you aren't familiar with what these are, you can take out the bottom here, and then you would put a cone incense in there and light it, and then they smoke from their little pipe. I mean, it's not really the greatest example for children, but I grew up with them and I was fine. They have other ones like little cabins and stuff that it doesn't always have to be a little pipe, but he is just so cute and nostalgic, and I will insert a clip of him up and running with the little incense in him, and I'll link the incense that I purchased down below. It literally smells like church when you have these going, so depending on your thoughts on that, you may or may not like to actually light one of these up, but nonetheless, super nostalgic. Cannot wait to build my collection of these slowly but surely. Okay, let's move on to Target. These things that I have from Target, I've had for a little while, so they're already pretty well loved and showing signs of use from us and the dogs. But the first thing is this blanket here. Oh Lord, so sorry about that. So it's this blanket here. This is the same as the one that I picked up in the fall that I kept calling a grandpa throw blanket. I loved that blanket so much. I was so excited when a friend let me know that they have like a Christmas version out in red. It also comes in a green plaid as well if you're into like the green look more than the red. These blankets are just incredibly high-end looking. They look like vintage wool blankets, which if you've ever looked at the price of a vintage wool blanket or a brand new wool blanket, it's very expensive. I want to say these are $25, and they just have a substantial look to them versus like a little, you know, chenille blanket or a little fleece blanket or the ones you get from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. So highly recommend it. $25, not the cheapest price for a blanket, but I know I'll have that for years to come. The other item that I got from Target, and because I promised myself that for fall and for Christmas I was not going to be purchasing anything from the Target dollar spot, I felt like I actually saved a lot of money that way, because I constantly, year after year, would like pick up so many different things from the Target dollar spot, and I would spend, if I had to guess, I would spend at least $100 every single season, if not more, on just like different little hauls that I would do. And then like when I would pull the things out the next year, I wouldn't care about it because there would be like a new collection at the Target dollar spot with new items that everybody was freaking out about. So I stopped that. I'm not saying I'll never shop in there again, but I was able to get like 2 substantial items that I know I'll continue to use for less than the price of like all the little knickknacks that I would personally pick up when I would shop in the Target dollar spot. So the other item is this massive chunky knit kind of sweater pillow. It's a 24 by 24 and it was $30. So again, not cheap, but where I live, it's cold pretty much all year. So this will be almost an all year pillow for me. I'm sure I'll put it away June, July, August, but it'll come right back out for fall. And it actually matches my tree skirt, if you can see here. So I didn't do that on purpose, but I like how the room is kind of pulled together by the pillow being on, you know, over there with the tree skirt here. I think that looks really nice. So I think this comes in other colors as well. Okay, so speaking of pillows, I was gifted a pillow cover set sort of a thing from my dear friend Jen from the show 78 over on Instagram. This was actually, she said to consider it a wedding gift, and I know she's not selling these currently, but I just had to brag about it for a second because it's so beautiful. So she, sorry, I know it's a little bit hard to see with the lighting. So she made this, she stitched together the fabric, and then she hand embroidered on our initials. It is just incredible. Like, the work that she does is just, it boggles my mind because I'm a creative person, but I'm not like that. Like, I'm not creative in that way. So when I see somebody who's creative in a different way than me, it just like, I'm just like shocked and impressed. And I just think that she does such a nice job. And I love that now I have something that is so special because it came from a close friend and nobody else has this. So she does, it actually was a set of 2. You put this ticking stripe one over the insert, and then you put this one over it, and you can, you know, see it through here. And then the little tags that she put on here are actually vintage from European antique grain sacks. So like I said, she's not selling these as far as I know. You could ask her to. I'm gonna link her Instagram down below and see what she says. But I know that she is getting ready to start selling vintage, or I'm sorry, antique. There's a difference. Antique European grain sack little plush tree ornaments that are adorable. They're beautiful. They're handmade. So definitely go check her out. I'll put a picture of the ornaments on the screen in case you guys are interested. This is obviously not sponsored. We're just friends. So I wanted to give her a little shout out. So thank you, Jen. So let's move on to Michael's. I didn't get a lot there, but I did get a couple of my favorite things from there. So one would be this little vintage inspired ornament garland. I know you guys probably can't see because the lighting is wonky. It's like, it's daytime, but it's gloomy out. But I'm backlit because of this massive set of windows here. So I have a ring light. Nobody cares. Anyways, I don't know why I bothered to explain that. The lighting's not great. You guys can see that. I don't have to keep drawing attention to it. These are little vintage inspired mercury glass ornaments tied onto this cream colored velvet ribbon, and I have this on my fireplace mantle in my dining room, which I think my dining room is going to be the best it's ever been. I'm really excited to share my Christmas home tour with you because I don't know if it'll be your guys' favorite because I just went classic Christmas, and I think a lot of people really like to see like themey, trendy decor. But for me, I love every single thing that I've done so far, so it feels really nice for me. So I hope that you guys will love it as much as me. But anyways, so I had been eyeing one of these on Amazon and it was like $30. I was so excited when I saw it at Michael's for, let's see, it was $19.99 and then 50% off. And it comes in a box like this. So you won't find it in the garland section. It'll be on a shelf in a little box with like a clear plastic cover on it. Other thing that I got from Michael's, I do have it here in front of me, but I will also insert a picture, is this tree collar. So this one is one of the ones that has 2 halves to it, which I think is, I prefer that. With, you can do your tree first and then put this on if you would want. This is the smaller size. There is a larger one, but it is on my 7-foot King of Christmas tree. It is, even though it's 7 foot. It's still kind of like a smaller tree, but this looks perfect on it. You can't like see like a big gap in the inside that you can see down to the tree stand, which I don't really like that when I see that with a tree collar. So I love this one. It works for that tree. I'm not sure if it'll work for your tree, but I'll link it down below. And then there is a larger size for bigger trees too. So that one will be down below also. So let's move on to Hobby Lobby. I just got one thing, except for these red shiny ornaments you see on the tree. I bought a few packs of those to go all over the tree, but not gonna haul that. You guys know that they have all that kind of stuff there ornament wise. But the only like other thing that I got is this beautiful Santa. I saw this in somebody else's shop with me video, and like she just breezed on by it, and I was like,
oh my God.
How did she just like ignore that? But I mean, like, no, I'm not trying to be rude to her or anything, but it's just something that caught my eye immediately, and I was like, I love that. I went to my store. I literally, the day before my wedding, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I realized I needed to purchase more vases for my bouquets, and I had no time. But what do you know? I go into Hobby Lobby to get those vases, and I spend like 15 minutes looking for this guy while I was in there. He was not there. So I ordered him online. But anyways, he has a ruby red velvet coat. For some reason, he has glitter up here. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not. It doesn't really look like it's on purpose, but because it was shipped to me and they didn't have them in stores, I just thought, okay, I'll deal with it. But he has the antiqued looking tinsel, and the tree, he's called a Belsnickel Santa. Actually, my friend Jen let me know that that was their name. So now if you're interested in these, you can just look up Belsnickel Santa. Michael's has a couple Belsnickel Santas this year. And I also picked up a couple of them from just a little boutique near me. I also got some ornaments from there. I won't show those, but I wanted to show you the two smaller Belsnickels that I picked up from that boutique, because Michael's has similar ones to these. They're just silver or gold. These ones are white and silver, so they're very tiny. You probably can't see that well, girl. They're the exact same thing, but just in white. So I got one for me and one for a friend, but if you like these, like I said, they have similar versions at Michael's. So now I'm gonna show you a couple thrifted, vintage, antique-y sort of items. They're not really antiques, but I got them from an antique mall. And then I'll finish up with Homegoods. So I have been seeing people with their vintage or There's literally a helicopter over my house. Oh my God, they're coming for me, you guys. It's gone. It wasn't for me. It was for someone else. But anyways, I have been seeing for a long time now, actually, people collecting vintage Santa mugs or buying the replicas. I guess I wasn't super, I liked it, but I wasn't like, it wasn't my vibe, because I used to be really into Ray Dunn, and I'm not so much anymore. I'm not as much into that anymore. I'm more into the like nostalgic vibes. So anyways, I decided to try my luck at finding some, and I found a ton at my antique mall, but I just picked up the little tiny ones. So they look like this. I guess it's maybe an espresso size, but like I was calling it shot glass size. Anybody else? Or okay, that's just me pretending I'm still 21. Anyway, so these were $2.50. So I only picked up one for myself. So he's actually going on in my coffee station. I'm not doing a tiered tray this year. I'm doing a little display, but it's not a tiered tray. Hopefully you guys aren't too bummed about that, but he is the perfect addition to that. And then for the past 2 years, I have been collecting vintage ornaments. I didn't share that with you guys because it's not like you can go out and get these exact ornaments, but I thought this year I would share it with you because I don't know if you can tell from my tree, but probably like 30 to 40% of the ornaments on that tree are actually vintage Shiny Brights or other vintage ornaments. So I did recently pick up a few more, and I thought I would just talk about them real quickly just because it's a big part of my Christmas decorating this year. So if you aren't familiar with Shiny Brights, it's just a brand of ornaments that was really popular, I guess, in the 40s and on, or maybe the 50s and on. I grew up with a lot of these kind of ornaments on my Christmas tree. And when I said Shiny Bright to my mom, she like didn't even know what I was talking about. She didn't even realize that that's the ornaments that she had. But they look like this, and sometimes they're just, you know, they're not all striped or all with the indent on them. Sometimes they're just a glass ornament, a simple glass, red ornament, silver. They come in tons of colors. But my favorites are these ones that have the indents on them. This is my favorite one. I actually have a couple more like this on my tree, but I love the indents. And I happened to come across a Facebook listing for this person who had like hundreds, if not thousands of these. And she said that I could come by and take a look. And so this, like I said, is what I got from her. It was really special, even though these are just like, I don't know those people. It was so special because it was a woman selling her mom's collection. Her mom had been just a collector of different things throughout her life. And her mom, this elderly woman, actually like peeked her head out of the garage door to say hello to me. She was all smile. She was so happy that somebody thought that her little treasures were something special. And she was like thanking me for buying her stuff, when I'm thinking like, oh my God, thank you for selling these to me for a reasonable price, and for having like just such a huge selection for me to pick from, because these are hard to find. And they're expensive. You can expect to pay anywhere from, like for this kind, the reflector, these more special ones, you can expect to pay anywhere from $3 to $10 even. I've seen them even more than that before for these. So they're not cheap typically to collect, but it was amazing. And she also, which I thought was so serendipitous, she also just, oh, this one, the little tail fell out, but she said, I want to give you this one for free. And it's this little red bird. And I have this thing for cardinals. I've talked about that on my channel a few different times. And it was just crazy that she gave this to me for free, considering that I was just talking about cardinals before I got there. So like I said, super special. But when I have been sharing these over on Instagram, some of you guys have been telling me that you're looking for vintage ornaments and you're having a hard time. Shiny Bright still makes ornaments, and I came across a ton of them at Homegoods. So definitely check the ornament section at your Homegoods. These are real Shiny Brights. They're just new ones, but they're still in that vintage look. And this was only $9.99 for this set. I saw them range from $9.99 to $16.99 depending on how many or the size of the ornaments. So I did pick up a box of these. They have the same look. They're just not, they just don't have as old of a look because they're newer, of course. And then the last thing from this haul, it is so long, oh my God. The last thing that I picked up from Homegoods is this little nutcracker. I thought he was a smoker, and I was giddy because he has that same like wooden round nose. He's kind of squatty like a smoker, and I was like, oh my God, they're getting them in. I can maybe get them affordable, because they've started to get in some other like German pieces, like the German pyramids and other German things at a more reasonable price. But no, he is actually a nutcracker. He looks like a little gnome, I guess. I'm not super into gnome decor, but because he looked like a smoker, and I also grew up with the biggest nutcracker collection that you could ever imagine, I had to bring him home, and he was only $6.99. So wow, we're finally done. I hope that wasn't too boring for you guys. I am so tempted to go back through and refilm this and be like, okay, get to the point, Kristen, get to the point. But I have to go meet a friend to go try on wedding dresses. The wedding madness never stops, you guys. It just keeps going. So I'm really excited to do that. And so I have to get out of here, but please leave me a comment down below and let me know how you've been doing. I want to hear from you guys. It's the #1 thing I miss when I'm not filming, is just talking with you guys. So let me know what's up with you, what you're doing for Thanksgiving this year. Have you started decorating? Let me know it all down below. And thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I really do love you guys, and I will hopefully catch you in a future video. Bye now.